Hello everyone. In the previous lecture, we discussed about few quality control philosophies. And today, we are going to talk about total quality management. Now, in the previous lecture, we talked about just-in-time concept, which is a company-wide program supported by top management to deliberately expose problems. I repeat, just-in-time deliberately exposes the problems. However, on the contrary, TQM, that is Total Quality Management, is a company-wide mandate supported by the top management, but the focus here is to sustainably solve the problems. Therefore, TQM can be seen as quality-focused, customer-oriented, integrative management method that emphasizes continuing and cumulative gains in quality, productivity, and cost. As we can see here in this particular timeline, there are different quality philosophies that have emerged over a period of time. And if we see, the total quality management was somewhere proposed in 1980s. Now let's talk about few basic underlying principles of TQM. First of all, the company needs to set some design standards or the targets, and then they have to control for variability, which means in case there is deviation from the set target, that means there is some kind of loss function which needs to be corrected by deployment of proper quality function. Further, few statistical quality control tools are used for performance measurement and control, which we are going to discuss in details in the coming slides. And of course, the employee involvement is very important as they have to execute all the action. And all these activities are divided into small groups so that it can be executed, controlled, and measured efficiently. Now let's talk about the elements of total quality management. In order to have a robust quality system at the center, the company should be supported by the top management. The employees' involvement and the teamwork plays a very critical role in the quality systems, and of course the usage of proper tools and techniques are crucial for effective quality system in place in the organization. Now let's talk about each one of them one by one. So the first element is role of top management. Since TQM refers to everyone, everywhere and every time, therefore the role of top management is very critical in case of TQM. That means that the top management should actually set some kind of example for others to follow by leading in front the quality program. The top management should also explain to the workers what is the importance of quality for the organization and should also help the middle level managers in case they are facing any kind of difficulties while implementing the quality management program. So the second element is employee involvement. Now in case we want employees to be involved in the quality program of the organization, the first and the foremost thing that is very important is that the proper organizational culture should be imbibed for quality improvement. That means the culture should be such that every worker or every employee should be ready to take the ownership of the work done by him or her. That means they should be held accountable for whatever work they are doing. Secondly, they should be provided some kind of trainings on tools and techniques so that they actually have the requisite knowledge of how to implement the quality control programs correctly. Then they should be built some kind of climate for teamwork. That means they should be encouraged to work in teams, and there should be a proper system put in place for continuous improvement of the product or the service. Now the third and very important element of total quality management is quality control tools. Some basic quality control tools are histograms, check sheets, Pareto diagrams, scatter diagrams, cause and effect diagram, and control charts. So the first quality control tool is histogram. In this particular example, we have identified some causes for adjustment snags like leakage, missing, fouling, reworks, poor routing, and loose fitting. And subsequently, we also have identified the number of occurrences of these causes. So this complete table has been graphically represented in the form of histograms. Now this histogram actually helps us and makes it easier for the manager to look in for all the possible causes leading to a problem like adjustment snag in this particular case, and it makes us easier to identify that which particular category of problem is causing the adjustment stacks for maximum period of time. Like in this particular case, we can see that reworks is causing the adjustment snags for maximum time, that is 26 time, which is also highlighted in this particular table. Now the second quality control tool is check sheets. Like for example, in this particular case, we have defective items like mold, cracked fibers, grade pinholes, cracks and others. And we also have subsequently the total number of defects that actually has occurred in these defective items. Now this check sheet actually gives us the split up of these defects in these items day wise, which actually helps us in analyzing as on what particular day the defects were maximum. Like for example, the mold cracked 6 times on Wednesday, which means we can actually look for or identify what were the possible causes, whether the employees they were some employees who were dealing with this particular product or item, they were not feeling well, or there were some machinery issues, so on and so forth. So this particular check sheet helps us in taking the right decisions by identifying the causes of the quality defects. Now another very important quality control tool is Pareto diagram. As we can see in this particular diagram, we have the similar categories of problems like in the previous case of histogram, and corresponding on the y-axis we have the number of occurrence of these categories of problems. However, on the contrary, if you see here, the categories of problems have been rearranged on the basis of its number of occurrence. That means the categories of problems which occur for more times have been arranged first in the descending order, and slowly and gradually it is reducing. Also, in Pareto charts, you get this particular red line, which corresponds to the cumulative occurrence of these categories of problems. Like for example, in this case, as we know that reworks is occurring for maximum number of time, that is 26. And if we see here, the first 3 categories of problems, that is reworks, leakage and missing, is actually accounting for more than 80% of the total defects in the system. This is also in line with the Pareto rule, which is 80-20 rule, which says that most of the time the 80% of the problems are caused by the 20% of the causes in the system. So if we see here, we can very clearly say that reworks, leakage and missing are those 20% causes which is leading to the 80% of defects in this entire system in this particular example. So with the help of Pareto diagram, the managers can very easily identify that what are those 20% causes which is leading to the 80% defects in the system. So therefore, if we are able to identify those 20% causes, we are going to deal with them on urgent basis. The next quality control tool is a scatter diagram. In this particular case, instead of the histograms, we only have a scatter plot. Like we can see, we have points which corresponds to both the x and the y axis. So we can also see what is the scatter plot of defects and what the occurrence. In this particular case, in this example, we have taken the speed and the time, and each point corresponds to the what is the increase in the time if we are increasing the speed. The next quality control tool is cause and effects diagram, which is also called as fishbone diagram, like we have discussed in the previous lectures. So as we can see here, it looks like a fishbone in which the effect is the quality problem, and the causes could be material, work methods, equipment or labor. So we're going to actually see what is the problem in the equipment, what are the associated problems in the labor, what is the associated problems with the material or the problems with the work methods. And we're going to work out on all these causes which is actually leading to the effect, that is some kind of quality problem. So this fishbone diagram actually gives us a pictorial representation to easily understand what are the causes and how it is causing some kind of effect or some kind of defect into the entire quality system. Now the next and the last quality control tool are control charts. Now these control charts are very important charts for for quality control. it gives a very clear depiction of the process control. Like we can see here, we have the process average line, which we have measured or depicted from the previous data, the average data or the mean data. And then we also have something called as upper control limit and the lower control limit, which corresponds to the say -3 standard deviation or the +3 standard deviation. So we have set these kind of limits. So whenever our process is in between these two limits, then that means it is going to yield the right quality product. However, the manager can see in case the process is going beyond these limits, then it can be either out of control indication or it can be process not in the state of statistical control. So whenever your process is going out of these upper or lower control limit, that means it is not going to yield you the best quality product, or we can say there'll be some kind of defects. So you have to ensure that every time your process should be going in between these limits, and it should be near to this particular process average. So the control charts are one of the very important process control tools. So this was all about TQM. So in this unit, we have discussed basic concepts of quality, some contributions of quality gurus, some quality philosophies, and we have also discussed the concept of total quality management. So I hope these outline videos would be helpful to you. Thank you and take care.